We pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessing descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you've committed to our church. Amen. Under standing order number 32 part 2, I want to request that the Sergeant at Arms rings the quorum bell for the first 5 minutes. I still want to direct that you ring the quorum bell for a further 5 minutes. The Honorable Deputy Majority Leader, could you please confirm if we have quorum?
Mr. Speaker, I can confirm that we have quorum. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Take us through the orders of today.
Order paper number 324 of today, Wednesday, 2nd July 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Thank you, honorable members. I have 2 communications to make. I will start with communication on pending businesses before committees as at Tuesday, 1st July 2025. The Committee on Public Accounts and Investment, chaired by the Honorable Ken Ouko, has the following pending businesses. Report on consideration of the Auditor General's report on the Kisumu County Revenue Fund for the year ended 30th June 2022. The date requested was 24th May 2023, and the due date was 14th June 2023. 2 is report on consideration of the Auditor General's report on the examination and audit of Kisumu County Lakefront Development Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2022, which was due on 31st, will be due on 31st August, was due on 31st August 2023. Then the report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on Kisumu County Emergency Fund for the year ended 30th June 2023, which is due on 13th June 2024. Report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on the County Government of Kisumu Receiver of Revenue statements for the year ended 30th June 2023. Then another pending is report on the examination of Auditor General's report on Kisumu Revenue Fund for the year ended 2023, which was due in 13th June 2024. Another one is report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on the Gulf Water Service Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2023. That was due on 30th June 2024. Then report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on Nyanas Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2023, which was due on 13th June 2024. Number 8 is report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on Kisumu County COVID-19 Emergency Fund for the year ended June 2023. And another pending work is report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on Kisumu Lakefront Development Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2023. I believe the first one was 2022. Then 10th pending report is report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on Nyang'ande Sub-County Hospital Level 4 for the year ended 30th June 2022. And a report on the examination of Auditor General's report for Nyang'ande Sub-County Hospital Level 4 for the year ended 30th June 2023. And a report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on Masogo Sub-County Hospital Level 4 for the year ended 30th June 2022. Those reports are supposed to be due by 9th, were due by 9th of October 2024. Another pending is report on the examination of Auditor General's report on Masogo Sub-County Hospital Level 4 for the year ended 30th June 2024, and report on the examination of Auditor General's report on Oberkamoth Sub-County Hospital Level 4 for the year ended 30th June 2022 and 30th June 2023. That's both for Oberkamoth. Then 16th pending report is the report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on Ojola Sub-County Hospital for the year ended June 2022 and June 2023. Then we have report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on Nyangoma Sub-County Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2023 and 30th June 2022. Then we have report on the examination of Auditor General's report on Nyamarimba Sub-County Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022 and 30th June 2023. The 21st pending report is report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on Kisumu County Alcoholic Drinks Control Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024. And report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on Kisumu Executive for the year ended 30th June 2024. And then we also have a pending report on the examination of Auditor General's report on Kisumu County Gulf Water Services Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2024. And we have a report on the examination of Auditor General's report on Kisumu County Lakefront Development Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2024. Honourable members, another pending is a report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on Nyanas Water Services Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2024. Another one is a report on the examination of the report of the Auditor General for Kisumu County Revenue Board for the year ended 30th June 2024. Another pending work for the committees, the report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on Kisumu County Revenue Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024. Another one is a report on the examination of the Auditor General's report for Kisumu County Receiver of Revenue Statements for the year ended 30th June 2024. And lastly, for Committee on Pig Park is a report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on Ojola Sub-County Hospital Level 4 for the year ended 30th June 2024. Honorable members, lands, housing, physical planning, and urban development, chaired by the Honorable Boyton Ratib, as the following pending works: report on the matter of recent demolition within the city and allocation of county premises to business operators, as sought by Honorable Nereo Kombo, which was due on 22nd of May 2024. The chair needs to note that they also have a pending work on report on the matter of allocation of parcel of land, Kisumu Municipality, Kisumu Municipality Block 1143 to EACC. And 3 is report on the request for approval to transfer Ondiek Estate number Kisumu KSM UN Block 9/29 and 9/15 to National Housing NHC. Labor, Welfare and Social Services, chaired by the Honorable Zachary Okoyo, as pending work on the report on the matter of non-compliance with Section 80 of the Public Service Commission Act 2017 and Regulation 71 of the Public Commission Regulation 2020 by the County Public Service Board on the mandatory retirement age provision. And 2, report on alleged severe labor violation, corruption and exploitation at Keda Ceramics. The Committee on Education has one report on the matter of stalled ECD projects within Awasi Onjiko Ward. Finance and ICT, chaired by the Honorable Karen Ajuang, has the following pending works: report on the consideration of the annual report and financial statements of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital Level 5 for the year ended 30th June 2023. Then report on consideration of the financial statements of Kisumu County Education Fund quarterly for the period ended 31st December 2023. And they also have a pending work on report on consideration of the quarterly report and financial statement of Kisumu County Revenue Fund for the period ended 31st December 2023. They have a pending work on report on consideration of the quarterly reports and financial statement of Kisumu County Revenue Fund for the period ended 31st March 2024. Another one is report on consideration of the statement by Honorable Frederick Adonija regarding the status of the cess deducted from the sugarcane farmers in Muhoroni and Nyando sub-counties. They also have a pending work on report on the consideration of Kisumu County Education Fund annual report and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024. They also have not submitted a report on the petition by Kisumu Contractors and Suppliers Association to the County Assembly on the matter of prioritization of pending bills in Kisumu County Government. Honorable members, Finance Committee has a pending work on the report on the consideration of City of Kisumu annual report and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024 for Kisumu Urban Project AFD credit number CKE 1035 OLG. They also have a pending work on report on the consideration of the Kisumu County Emergency Fund account annual report and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024. Finance also has a pending report on the consideration of Kisumu County Revenue Fund annual report and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024, and also report on the consideration of the Kisumu County Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme annual report and financial statements for the financial year 2023-2024. They also have a pending report on the consideration of the Kisumu County Executive Annual Report and financial statements for the financial year 2023-2024. Honorable members, they also have a pending work on the report on the consideration of the City of Kisumu Annual Report and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024. And they also have pending work on the report on the consideration of Kisumu County Climate Change Fund annual report and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024. They also have report on the consideration of the Kisumu County Revenue Board annual financial statements and receiver of revenue report for the period ended 30th June 2024. Finance also has a pending work on report on the consideration of the revenue statements of the County Government of Kisumu, receiver of revenue for the financial year ended 30th June 2024. They also have a pending work on report on the matter of disposal of movable assets in the county, and also report on the consideration of the Kisumu County Revenue Fund quarterly report and financial statements ended 30th September 2024. They also have reports on the consideration of the Kisumu County Executive quarterly report and financial statements for the period ended 30th September 2024. They have a pending work on the report on the consideration of the Kisumu County Assembly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2024. And a pending work on the report on the consideration of the Kisumu County Executive quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 31st March 2025. And also pending work on the report on the consideration of the Kisumu County Revenue Fund quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 31st March 2025. Honorable members, you see Public Accounts and Investment Committee and Finance have a lot of pending work on their reports because of mandatory reports that are brought by the executive. Sports, culture, gender, and youth affairs, chaired by the Honorable Nancy Matara, has 2 pending work, and that is a report on the matter of the expenditure of FESTAC event, and then a report on the matter of the status of renovation of Kanyakwar Cultural Center in Railways Ward. Water, environment, and natural resources. Water, environment, natural resources, and climate change, chaired by the Honorable Samuel Dede, has 2 reports pending. One is report on the Kisumu County Quarry Bill 2024, County Assembly Bills number 5 of 2024, and report on the matter of pollution of Oroba River and Nyakogo Stream by Keda Ceramics. The Committee on Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works, chaired by the Honorable Ruben Rakwach, has 1 report pending, and that is the report on the matter of dilapidated state of Nkrumah Road and the need for intervention by Kura. The Committee on Administration of Law, Justice, Constitutional Affairs, Good Governance and Security, chaired by the Honorable Moses Ochele, has the following pending reports. One is report on the matter of loss of life and injuries caused by quarrying and steel mining in Awasi Onjiko Ward. 2 is report on regarding the escalating and widespread incidents of insecurity within Kisumu County. And lastly is a report on the matter of escalating cases of cattle rustling in Awasi Onjiko Ward. Committee on Procedure and Rules, chaired by the Honorable Pomelo Yo. Oh, Vice Chair, I'm being informed that that's the Vice Chair, chaired by the Honorable Speaker, has this report pending. That is a report on the amendments of the standing orders. Appointment Committee, chaired by the Speaker, has 1 report to bring before the House. That is a report on the suitability of the new board members of the Kisumu County Investment and Corporation. I believe Honorable Millicent Omoya is noting down so that he can liaise with the chair of the committee. And I believe the same is so with the Honorable Pomelo Yo. Committee on Trade, by the Honorable Alice Wajewa, has 1 pending report, and that is the report on the operations of Kisumu County Trade Fund. There's a joint committee on trade and water, which is supposed to be co-chaired by Honorable Samuel Dede and Honorable Alice Wajewa. They have 1 pending report, that is a report on the matter of the deteriorating state of cleanliness and waste management at the Awasi market. There is a report for the Joint Committee on JLAC and Labor, which is co-chaired by the Honorable Moses Ochele and the Honorable Zachary Okoyo, and they have the following pending works. 1 is a report on the matter of the ongoing investigations into the allegations of embezzlement by employees of Kisumu County Revenue Board. And then Joint Committee on Sports and Education has pending work on report on County Child Protection Policy 2024, which I believe we did read, so I think that is not true. The Joint Committee on Medical Services and Labor has a pending report on the matter of payment and deductions of stipends of community health promoters. I believe the Honorable Chair, Vincent Jagongo, has picked it up. And lastly, the Joint Committee of JLAC and Trade has a pending report on the alleged unfair trade practices, exploitative lending, and alleged sexual abuse in the markets. Honourable members, these reports are pending before committees, and I know that we are adjourning tomorrow for a short recess. but the committee work should continue so that by the time we are resuming the assembly, we have all committees ready with their reports for tabling and discussion in the floor of the House. Thank you, honorable members. The next communication I want to give, honorable members, we are pleased. I'm pleased to inform you that seated in the public gallery this afternoon are teachers and Form 2s, 3s, and 4s students of St. Beda's Bukaya Secondary School in Kakamega County, Mumias West Sub-County, who have joined us to observe the proceedings of this Honorable House and be part of their educational visit. Honorable members, accompanying the students are their teachers, Mr. Munai Shikuvale Stephen. Thank you. Mr. Opeo Zakayo. Thank you. Miss Veronica Achayo. Thank you. And Mr. Obiero Vincent. Thank you. Honorable members, such visits, play a very important role in nurturing and shaping the understanding of and the role of county assemblies in governance and democracy. Honorable members, by engaging directly with the legislative processes, these learners and their teachers are able to gain practical insight in the values of public participation, accountability, and leadership. On behalf of the County Assembly of Kisumu, and indeed, in my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to this school and their teachers, and I want them to feel most welcome. I trust that their experience here will be both enriching, informative, and inspiring. Honorable members, as per our tradition, I will allow a few members to also share a word of encouragement with the students before we proceed to the next order. And I want to start with my brother, the Honorable Samuel Dede.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to welcome our guest from the neighboring region, being that I neighbor Western region, exactly coming from Kibos to bordering Western. I take the opportunity to welcome the team from Kakamega County. They feel free while they're in the house. To our students, once upon a time we were also in uniforms like the way you are. Over 20 to 30 years ago, we were in school and we didn't know that we will be in this house. So I'm urging you, take your studies very serious, being that each and every one of you, others might get themselves in this house. Like in this house, we've got different professions. There are those who are professionals in doctorate, like Honorable Ouko, professional by doctor. We have got different professions like Honorable Ajewa, who is a strong business lady and legislates in this house. And this house, we've got 3 roles to play. As the representative of the people, we represent the people from the locality, 1. 2, we do the legislation. 3, we do the appropriation of the representation of our people. So while you study, take your studies serious, because at one particular time, well, some of you might be in this house because it is not of the same sex. The house comprises of different sexes, the ladies and the honorable ladies and the honorable gentlemen, all in this house. So if you are taking your studies, take your studies very serious, being that at one particular time, you might find yourselves in this house. Otherwise, feel welcome to partake your studies. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. I agree to give a few, and I want to allow the Deputy Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to welcome our students from Mumias. Personally, I feel very, very grateful for such kind of exchange and exposure that the teachers and the staff are giving the students. We have a lot in common. as Kisumu County and Kakamega County that we share, both in sports and even in politics. Don't feel strangers in this house, because this is the house of ODM, and ODM is also felt and is there in Mumia, so you are at home in this house. This is your house. This is the house of ODM. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I would like to urge our visitors that the future belongs to them. They are here to have an exposure and also, by extension, learning. And some of you, I know, are aspiring to be politicians. This will be a motivation, a serious motivation to you. I know you know where you are. At one time you'd want to sit here. You know, sitting here is parliament, but there is for visitors. For you to come here and talk, you have to be elected or nominated. I would urge many of you to continue or to pursue that aspiration of becoming politicians, and by becoming politicians, you are the future, you become future leaders of this nation. All the time we keep on saying you are future leaders, but you're only future leaders if you struggle and work hard for it to come. It is not an easy endeavor, but you must struggle and work hard. Working hard is now that you are in class. You cannot come this house and start speaking Kiluya or Kijaluo. You can only speak English if you have learned well, if you have good education, which is what you are doing now. So I'm urging you to take your studies seriously and achieve your goals and be what you want to be. I wish you all the best that you can wish for yourself. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Emily Oginga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I'd like to take this chance to welcome the school from Mumias to the Assembly, Kisumu County Assembly. I'm a special elected member of this assembly, although I come from Siaya. The reason why I say this is because I have my ancestry traced all the way back to the Nabongo Kingdom. I know from Mumias, you know what I mean. I'd like to welcome you and feel at home. When you see me here, know that you have a relative here. Mr. Speaker, because this is our next group of leaders coming up, I'd just like to give them a brief understanding on what our roles actually are at the Kisumu County Assembly. Because as we all know, we have three arms of government at the national level, which is the judiciary, the executive, and the legislative arm. When you come down to the devolved units, we actually have majorly two arms of the government. That is the legislative arm, which is the assembly where we are at, and we also have the executive arm, which is headed by the governor of Kisumu County Assembly. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to also elaborate briefly on the roles of the assembly. I know you've been taken around briefly, and I know whoever was taking you around must have given you a brief on the roles carried out by these legislators. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to let them know that at the assembly here we have basically three roles. That is, number one is representation. We represent people from different areas that we come from, because we represent different areas around Kisumu County. And the next role is legislation, where we also develop policies and legislative documents within this assembly. I believe when Mr. Speaker was beginning, Mr. Speaker, I know you mentioned a few documents that are pending before committees. That is basically what we do in our legislative role. And thirdly, in our roles is oversight. Oversight, we do oversight on the executive roles. we have to keep the executive on toes and know whether they're doing the right thing or not. Otherwise, thank you so much. Basically, those are the only 3 roles that we carry out at the assembly, and also budget development. Sorry, we also have budget development that we also do. We just passed our budget recently for the financial year 2024, 2025, 2026. Otherwise, feel at home, and you're always welcome. You can always come back anytime. We can have tea, and you enjoy the fish around Lake Victoria. Otherwise, thank you so much, and may God bless you as you go back.
Thank you. I think I'll lastly give to the Honorable Millicent Omoya. I think she happens to be, I refer as Honorable Mother, and she comes from Western. I know she can throw a few words that you guys will understand.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to welcome my, I'll call them sons and daughters to my cousins. I'm a member of this county assembly, representing a place called North Seme. I'm neighboring Vihiga County. I was born in Vihiga. I am a Munyore by birth, who got married to these Luos. I'm now a member of this assembly. I want you to understand that so that you know that in Kisumu they are not biased. When you are their wife and you have the ability to lead, they will give you that leadership role. And I want to echo what my colleagues have said. And I want to add by telling you that this is the only opportunity that you will appreciate that you have a parent or a guardian. Make good use of your school and be very careful. Don't engage in things that will spoil your life. Why am I saying that? I know you know this thing. So you know it. This one is called, this one is a phone. Tread carefully with your phones. Let nobody cheat you. Feel most welcome. We are friendly. We are mothers and grandmothers, just like your mothers and grannies at home. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Thank you, honorable members. I think we will stop it at that. I just want to guide the honorable member next time when we are in the house, every communication is directed through the speaker. You address the speaker. You address the students through the speaker. Thank you, honorable member. Next order, Madam Clerk.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Next order, Madam Clerk.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, motion. Adoption of the report of PICPA committee on the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Kisumu County Climate Change Fund, financial year 2023-2024.
Yes, Honorable Kennedy Uko.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, PICPAC, and pursuant to the standing orders, 88 of the Kisumu County standing orders, I'm honored to present to this House the committee reports on examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kisumu County Climate Change Fund, financial year 2023-2024. Honorable Speaker, Kisumu County Climate Change Fund was established under the provisions of Kisumu County Climate Change Act 2020 with the objectives and purpose of operationalizing the county climate change institutional support and county climate resilient investment grant. As such, it is one of the county public funds audited annually in accordance with Article 229(4)(b) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, which provides for audit of the accounts of all funds and authorities of the national and county government. Article 229(8) further requires that within 3 months of receipt of such reports, the county assembly debates and take appropriate action. This obligation is discharged through the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, which is the oversight arm of the assembly responsible for examining public expenditure, investment, ensuring that county entities utilize public funds lawfully, effectively, efficiently, and transparently. Honorable Speaker, in executing its mandate, the committee held 3 sittings during which it received and considered both oral and written submissions from the accounting officers. The deliberations were also supported by technical officers from the Office of the Auditor General. Honorable Speaker, the committee observed that the Auditor General's issued a qualified opinion on the financial statement of the fund. This implies that, except for specific issues highlighted under the basis for qualified opinion, the financial statement presented a true and a fair view of the financial position and performance of the fund. In the basis of opinion sections of the report, the Auditor General highlighted issues on inaccurate statements of comparison of budget, actual amounts, budgetary control and performance, lack of approved budget, failure to transfer fund to the fund by the county treasury as enshrined in the regulations, and lack of risk management policy. On the matter of inaccurate statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts, there were unexplained variance in general expenses and total income figure due to casting errors and misclassifications. Notably, an amount of 2,149,970 reported under general expenses was attributed to the acquisition of ICT equipments. However, the relevant procurement documents were not provided during the time of audit but were only presented during the committee deliberations. Upon review, the committee took notes of the lack of crucial elements such as market survey report to verify price competitiveness. Further, the committee established that the procurement process for the ICT equipment was poorly managed and appeared to have been conducted retrospectively, contrary to the provision of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015. Prices quoted for the item were deemed non-competitive and partially inflated. In breach of Section 54(2) of the Act, the fund accountant openly admitted that the procurement process was mismanaged. Additionally, failure to provide timely documentation on the Auditor General's constituted a violation of Section 62(1)(b) and C of the Public Audit Act 2015. These findings raise serious concerns about the integrity of the fund and fund's financial and procurement process. The committee further observed weaknesses in budgetary control and financial performance, notably the lack of approved itemized budget for the fund during the year under review. This was contrary to Section 149(2)(h) and I of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which requires the accounting officer to prepare estimates of expenditure of entity with strategic plan and submit the estimate of an entity which is not a county corporation to the executive committee member for finance. In addition, the county treasury failed to transfer the initial capital of fund of 2% or the 82,731,025 shillings of the development budget to Kisumu County Climate Change Fund account as required under Regulation 5 and 6A of the Kisumu County Climate Fund, Regulation 2023. The committee also noted that the fund operated without a risk management policy, contrary to the Regulation 158(1) of the same regulations, exposing the fund to unmanaged financial and operational risks. Honorable Speaker, in light of the above findings, the committee has made a number of corrective recommendations. On the matter of Kenya shillings 2,149,970 attributed to the acquisition of ICT equipment, the committee recommended to the House to resolve that the supply chain management officer, the fund administrator, and the fund accountant be relieved of their duties within the fund, and the matter be referred to the Ethic and Anti-Corruption Commission for further investigation on possible loss of public fund. This recommendation is based on the collective failure to uphold required procurement and financial management procedures, which resulted to lack of transparency and non-compliance with applicable laws and regulations. On the matter of lack of risk management policy, the committee recommended that the county treasury urgently finalize and adopt the risk management policy and ensure that it is disseminated to all county government entities, including the funds for immediate implementations. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the lack of the budget, it is hereby recommended that in subsequent financial year, the management of the fund must ensure that the fund operates under an approved budget that is fully itemized and incorporated within the county annual budget under the Department of Water, Environment, Climate Change, Natural Resources. This is to ensure compliance with provision of Section 149(2)(h) and I of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which requires all expenditures to be based on approved plan and budget. On the matter of failure to transfer funds to the fund, the committee recommended that in the subsequent financial year, the County Executive Committee member, Finance and Economic Planning, ICT, must ensure transfer of initial capital of fund of 2% or 83,731,025 shillings of the development budget to Kisumu County Climate Change account as required under Regulation 56A of the Kisumu County Climate Change Regulation 2012. Honorable Speaker, I wish to express my sincere appreciation to members of the committee for their commitment and diligence in interrogating this report. I also thank the Office of the Speaker, the Clerk of the Assembly, the Committee Secretariat, and the Office of the Auditor General for their facilitation and technical support. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, I now wish to present the report of on the consideration of the Auditor General's report on the financial statement of Kisumu County Climate Change Fund, financial year 2023-2024, and I urge this House to adopt it. Honorable Speaker, I hereby request that this House adopt this report of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the consideration of the Auditor General's report on the financial statement of the Kisumu County Climate Change Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024. May I call upon Honorable Warindu to second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Geoffrey Warindu.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Right from the onset, let me take this opportunity to applaud the PICPAC committee for the very good work they have been doing. Even though, if you look at the list of the pending works, it's still the PICPAC committee which is still leading. And PICPAC has been one of the most active committees in this assembly. Actually, most of the businesses that we've been doing have been coming from the PICPAC committee. Mr. Speaker, this was a grant Flocker Fund, and I want to believe it was given to bridge the gap of our budget deficit. And if you look at what the money did from the report that is given here, I want to believe that the report is not only for the Kisumu County, it will even be taken to the financials so that they can at least look at the way we are dealing with the funds that they are giving us. We really expected a lot from them. And if you go through the report, even though it's a qualified opinion, which is at least favorable, but the gaps that were given there are too wanting. And they put a lot of questions on how prudent are we using our resources as a county. The gaps that were identified were not so many. There are around 4 or 5, but they had a greater magnitude on how the fund was being used. I'm happy, and I really wanted my friend, Honorable Aiko, to be around, because he has always insisted that we've been giving a flowery recommendations. But at least if you go through this report, from the first gap which was identified, where there was inaccurate statements of comparison of budget and the actual accounts, in that one, there was an unexplained variance of around 2,179,970 Kenyan shillings. And the officers that were involved, that is the fund accountant and the fund administrator, the recommendations that have been given there is that they should be relieved. Since they cannot vividly explain what the money did, there are no documents proving how this variance was used. One of the recommendations there is that they should be relieved from their duties. Again, there is another recommendation that this matter should be referred to the ESCC. And I want to believe this is a far-reaching recommendations, and I believe that the authorities that are concerned are going to work and make sure that the recommendation is followed to the line. The second gap that was identified was lack of approved budget. Mr. Speaker, this was in contravention of Section 149(2) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which requires an accounting officer to prepare estimate of the expenditure of the entity with a strategic plan on how they're going to utilize the funds that are given to them. This was not adhered to, and most of the audited reports that we've been handling, it's like this is now becoming a norm. Most of the entities are just using the funds without an approved budget, and we are not following the law the way it's supposed to be. Each and every officer who is be it in county government or the national government, must always try to strictly adhere with the laws that have been laid down on how the public resources and funds should be used. Again, there was failure to transfer funds by the Kisumu county government, which is still telling us, which is still showing us the reason why these two officers should at least be subjected to this kind of recommendation. Mr. Speaker, sir, there was also lack of risk management policy, and I want to believe that this laxity are the ones that are making the county officers that are in charge of this fund to at least to not adhere with the regulations that are put there. My recommendation will always be, at least where there is a fund that has been entrusted to some entity or individuals, we should be having an internal audit section so that some of these simple and basic issues should not even be flagged off by the Auditor General. But let me also thank the audit team, because they have been at least helping us to know how the funds that are available in our facilities, in our entities, and in our county, whether they are prudently being used or they are being used to enrich other individuals. Mr. Speaker, with those very few remarks, I beg to second the report, and I urge the Honorable House to support the report so that we can adopt it together as a house. Thank you so much.
Thank you, honorable members. A motion has been moved on the committee report, the Committee of PICPAC report on the examination of the report on the Auditor General on the financial statements of Kisumu County Climate Change Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024. Motion moved by the Chair, Honorable Ken Ouko, and seconded by a member, the Honorable Geoffrey Warindo. And now I propose to put a question that we open this motion for debate. Yes, Honorable Tom Nyaoke of North Nyakach.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to sincerely thank the committee, at least for this biting report, Mr. Speaker. All the time we have been talking about the recommendations that are given on similar reports, but today I want to applaud the committee for a job well done. Mr. Speaker, I picked one fundamental issue with this report as indicated. There is an instance where a company is issued with an LPO to supply and deliver ICT equipment. And in this particular report, it is noted that the supply of the equipment was of questionable prices. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the prices, quite exorbitant. In fact, no one would believe that such items could cost such colossal amount of money. Mr. Speaker, Section 54(2) of the Public Procurement Act under Asset Disposal, under Asset Disposal Act 2015 is very much clear on this, Mr. Speaker. And for the benefit of doubt, it states that standard goods, services, and works with non-market prices shall be procured at the prices prevailing at the market at that particular time. Mr. Speaker, even just random checking of the prices of those particular items that were supplied by that company would not conform to that act. It is therefore abundantly clear, as had been proved by the committee, that the price seemed to have been inflated, and seriously inflated, Mr. Speaker. I'm happy that the subsequent recommendation in view of that, Mr. Speaker, is that the three officers who have been on this particular issue have been recommended to be relieved from their duties. And Mr. Speaker, it is worthy to note that it is not just them being relieved from their duties, but the EACC has also been recommended to come out and follow this issue and do further investigations. Mr. Speaker, if we go this direction, and I want to request, and it is by good luck, I'm a member of the implementation committee. I think this report, we should even put some aside and to start with this one, so that this report should also be made by implementation committee to make sure that what has been recommended here is in fact put to rest, and that this house should be able to receive whether the recommendations that have been given here have been put into use. With that few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to support.
Yes, the Honorable Mildred Ajumbo of Central Sema.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the report that has been brought by the PICPAC committee on the, brought by the PICPAC Committee on the examination of the Auditor General financial statement for Kisumu County Climate Change Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024. Mr. Speaker, my attention has been drawn to the fund operating without a risk management policy, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I just want to support Honorable Nyaoke, who has just spoken, supporting the recommendations by the committee that the fund accountant and the fund management team be handed over to the EACC as recommended by the committee. But my attention is drawn to the risk management. There are a whole fund that is supposed to be supporting the entire Kisumu County climate change. It's operating without a policy. This fund is being exposed to a lot of operational risks, Mr. Speaker. And I was just looking at some of the risks that are associated with this kind of a fund operating without a risk management policy, that this fund may be directed to low impact, or it will be taken to non-priority areas. You can imagine sometimes when you do not have a risk management policy that guides the fund, it means that even at the time of the public participation, when members of the climate change team have proposed that certain development should be done, then because there's no management policy risks, the fund can as well just be misused, and even the projects that were not prioritized would end up being done. Sometimes you'd find a project that makes no meaning to the electorate, that a place that needs to have a borehole, a place where people are suffering, there's no water, you find that the team would just allocate maybe a fund to do a drainage, something that has no value to the community. Mr. Speaker, it is very sad that in this fund, the government allocates money and yet nothing is felt on the ground. You look at the loss of public funds amounting to the 2 million that was, of course, that was supposed to have procured the ICT material, and it is called reverse procurement. The procurement was not done at the right time. There were no papers to show that procurement was done, just like my colleague has said, that the cost of the printer, you look at the market price, yet the printers were procured without even a guiding market price. And Mr. Speaker, I want to support this committee. For the first time, the committee has proposed that this is more than now the House. It should face the EACC, and I do support their recommendations, and I hope this House adopts. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Deputy Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the report. But my problem is one, that these reports, they come and go. Recommendations are made. We don't get the feedback. It is going to a point where even members will get fed up with this report without the implementation committee coming back with the implementation to motivate members to know that what they are doing is bearing some fruits, even including reports that have been taken to or has been recommended for EAC. I've never had any report coming back that the EACC has taken action or are yet to take action. To the best of my knowledge, those reports are rotting in this office. They have never gone to the ICC. They have never gone to the ACC. What are we doing about it, Mr. Speaker? I commend the PICPAC committee for the effortless job they are doing. Actually, they are the committee that's leading this house without favoritism. But they are going to be demoralized sooner than later because what they are doing is not being felt. Mr. Speaker, it's high time that even we suspend bringing these reports here and wait or call for the implementation committee to give us reports of those reports that have been passed here for action. Mr. Speaker, I support the report. Thank you.
Yes, the Honorable Basso.
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, silence means everyone is contented with the report. And may I call the mover to reply? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me congratulate and appreciate all the members who contributed and the Office of the Speaker for giving us this opportunity to do present our report. Mr. Speaker, it is a requirement of law, Constitution of Kenya 2010, Article 229(4) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 requires the Auditor General within a period of 6 months after the end of each financial year to audit and report on in respect of the financial years in question, like the one said. But to the Assembly, Article 229(8) further states that within the 3 months after receiving an audit report, Parliament or County Assembly shall debate and consider a report and take appropriate action. Mr. Speaker, I would like to probably enlighten a member that this is a requirement of law. We can't do without it. We can't postpone, we can't stop it, it must come. Mr. Speaker, this is a conditional grant. A conditional grant comes with the conditions from the donors. It is a requirement that there must be, it is a matching fund. There must be a matching fund, the 2% we are talking about. Mr. Speaker, this money was not given to the fund as required by law. Although the donor brought and granted us this money, it is unfortunate it was not given. But later on inquiry, we realized it was given to the fund again. So it will appear in the coming audited statement from the Auditor General. Mr. Speaker, failure to bring the documents required by the audited entity is a crime in law and it is punishable by law. And audit is more of evidence-based. You have to bring evidence. The moment an officer fails to bring evidence to the House, we go to the law, we are guided by law, we take action. And this is what we have done so far, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when we talk about variances of 2,149,970, it was upon them during the auditor's report, during the auditor's exercise. That's what we call exit meeting. The exit meeting is giving the accounting officer an opportunity so that he or she can present any additional document. Mr. Speaker, when these people are invited to the House, they are also given another window to give any evidence. They fail to do this, Mr. Speaker. It means there's a question. This is why we are referring this matter to the Anti-Corruption Commission. And again, we recommend that they are relieved of their duty because they can't take care of public funds. Mr. Speaker, it is quite unfortunate that an organization is running without a risk policy. Really, why do we need risk policies in place? Risk management policies. This is to control threats on capital operations and earnings, even on legal matters. I think this is why we are losing a lot of laws, a lot of suit of matters in courts, because there are no internal controls mechanism put in place nearly in all the departments. So we should develop a policy from the executive, really, and we do a regulation in the House to protect all this. It is not done, Mr. Speaker. But it is quite unfortunate an organization is operating without a risk or internal management mechanism and risk issues. It is quite unfortunate, Mr. Speaker. How do you expect this organization to deliver? Is it because it is a grant? But even with the grants, there must be accountability on issues, transparency. Mr. Speaker, on documentations, now when we come to supply and the procurement person, it is quite unfortunate that the bids were done in the same day, submissions were done in the same day, evaluations were done in the same day, and award of the tender was done in which county? Actually, which county would do that? Which system of government would do that? In which day? Because there are matters guiding procurement laws. The processes are being guided by law. But you find somebody just doing his own, like working in his own house. It is quite unfortunate. We can't allow this. This is why we are given the powers to oversight the executive. And this is why we have to act on these issues. Mr. Speaker, I beg to reply. I thank all the members.
Honourable members, a motion was moved on the Public Accounts and Investment Committee report on the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Kisumu County Climate Change Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024. A motion moved by the Honorable Chair and seconded by Geoffrey Warindo, debated by the Honorable members, and it's time for me to put question for adoption. Honorable members, as many as of the opinion that we adopt this report, say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion, say nay. Honorable members, the ayes have it, and the report on the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Kisumu County Climate Change Fund for the financial year ended 30th June 2024, a report by the Committee on Public Accounts and Investment has been adopted today, 2nd of July 2025 at 15:52 hours. Honorable members, I direct that this report and its recommendation be made available in the website as provided for in our standing orders, and all the recommendations touching the department be communicated to them for implementation, and the implementation committee to follow up on the resolution of the House today. Thank you, honorable members. Next order, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Speaker and honorable members, there is no any other business in the order paper.
Honorable members, there being no any other business, the House stands adjourned until Thursday, 3rd of July 2025 at 2:30 p.m.